Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dungeon Nytes, Session 5, soon to be Episode 5. Last, we had our band of adventurers clear the remainder of Tressendor Manor. They captured the evil mage Glassstaff, who turned out to be a village local, Yarno Albrecht, who was formerly a member of the Lord's Alliance with Sildar. Big betrayal, bad uh-oh. You have since delivered him to Sildar and the town master, and they are going to be extraditing him to Neverwinter for questioning. That said, in the process of clearing Tressendor Manor, you also rescued Myrna and her two children, Nars and Nilsa, who are the husband of Thel the Woodcarver, who was also abducted by the Red Brands. And you very, very compassionately helped them and gathered Thel's body and returned it to the town for a proper burial. I thought that was a very touching scene. Thank you guys very much for how you all handled that. What else? That was it. You also adopted Droop formally. He is now traveling with the party. That was a super cute scene. He is wearing a way too big Red Brand cloak for his body, and it's kind of cute and adorable. What else? Anything else, guys? Anything else that I missed? That was pretty much the recap from the last show. So
we leveled.
We did level. That's right. The last thing we did was we leveled. We leveled to level 3. Yes.
Talk to animals now.
We had some really good conversations on those levels too. Actually, I wanted to make sure that I did this. Bamir, make sure you give yourself inspiration for the lovely letter that you gave us and RP'd for us. That was awesome. I was really
appreciate it.
I was actually really like, damn, that was good. It's really good. So, who all has inspiration now? So Bamir has inspiration. Ashin has inspiration.
Yep.
Leif, did you use yours?
I did not.
You did not. So Leif also has inspiration. So cool.
He was raising his hand too, but he forgot he wasn't on camera.
He's like, just blink for us if you have inspiration. No? Oh, damn it. Oh. All right. So with that being said, we were left in the center of town after having interrogated we were left in the center of town after you had all agreed, after going your separate ways for the evening, to come back and meet up to take care of the day's business. So let us set the scene. It is morning, the day after all of your levels. You have agreed to meet after whatever breakfast that you might have had, whether that be a wonderful menagerie of eggs and sausages and maybe some potatoes at the Stonehill Inn, or perhaps a prepared meal by Miss Alderleaf the following morning, happily together with her son Carp preparing it for you, or whether you hunted your own game and caught it. Your bellies are full. You have a whole new sense of experience after all of the events of the day before. And it is now time to collect on what is owed. You meet together in the town center. And as you stand there at a early morning sun, a mid-morning sun, we'll call it a mid-morning sun, air crisp and clean, hustle and bustle seems to be normalized where miners are coming in and out of the exchange. How do you greet each other?
Leif raises his hand as he sees everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Give a nod and a grunt. Just
Yeah, Pamir's probably walking next to Leif because they probably had breakfast together at the inn.
I would have been coming out of the inn as well, because I would have went off in the early part of the morning to downgrade some of the gear that I'd been carrying in my room.
Styria probably will be traveling with Machine. But she'll very cheerfully go, "Good morning."
Good morning.
So, I think we have some things to get done today. Where do you guys want to start?
Well, we do need to go by
Lenine.
yeah, we need to go by Lenine's place and Halia's place, and I'd like to run into Sister Galetta's place real quick.
Sure. Just try not to forget Lenine's name. You were the one flirting with her.
Oh. Bamir didn't forget it. Cataract forgot it.
I mean, that sounds fine. I'd like to. So I got this studded leather armor. I'd like to see if I can't find somebody to help me get it fitted at some point.
So in town, there is a smithy that could help you to fit your armor. That goes for you and for Asteria.
Other than that, I don't have anything else that I'd, let's get this stuff done.
All right. Well, let's I guess we can head for Lenine's first.
So as you make your way to the Lion Shield Coster, you see that the door is actually open today. It is not sealed shut as it normally had been. The windows also seemed open. And as you enter into the store, while things are still literally chained to the walls and nailed down, you see a bit of a disheveled Lenine who is behind the counter. And she addresses you. Oi, it's you. You've done a great service for this town.
We do the best we can.
Oh, pish posh. Y'all have done and ran out the red brands of this town, and I will make sure that you are duly compensated. And she throws a pack or 25 gold pieces at you. Says, that is for giving me my goods back. I was able to go to the Cragmaw hideout, and there were no goblins left there, but my stuff was, so I was able to get that, and I secured it and brought it back, and that was quite the sum of goods, so thank you so much for doing that. And here, she tosses another 25 gold pieces at you. That is for going and kicking all the lowlifes out of Tressender Manor and this town.
Oh, we appreciate it. We'll definitely make good use of this. I hope you weren't you didn't have too much trouble retrieving your goods. It looks like you had a rough night or something.
Oh, got into a little bit of a tussle on the way back, but that can only be helped so much. The goblins are still running rampant. It could have been the ones from the hideout, but once we got there, they were not there.
Okay. Well,
Did you find anything interesting up at the manor?
Oh, that's we weren't sure if you had any of your goods stolen, but there was quite an armory up at the manor that may have some of your stuff in it. I don't know if they had raided.
What'd you find up there?
A bunch of short swords, some armor, just common fighting stuff.
We have been taken to the cleaners quite a number of times since we've been here. So that is more than likely a lot of our things. We'll make sure to go up there and check it out. Thank you for the tip.
Good. I like to make sure everybody gets what they need.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with today?
I don't think so. We do have some things to get rid of, but I think that they're probably better off from the Miners Guild. So just some random stones and things. But if I do need to upgrade a weapon or something, I know exactly where to look.
She's going to give you a wink.
He'll wink back.
Well,
He's
you best be
not,
on your way, and I'm going to go head up to the manor and see if I can secure the rest of my goods.
Yeah, he'll pull out the little map that Droop gave us and show her where we found the weapons and things.
Wow, you are helpful.
I try to be.
And she's going to look at the rest of you and say, how'd the weapons hold up?
Well, it held up pretty well. Let's see, going through a Nothic's head, into someone's chest, through the back of someone's neck. Pretty well, thank you.
Still sharp?
Still sharp.
Sounds good. Now, get out of here. I've got stuff I got to do.
All right. I
Sure.
won't trouble you anymore.
And with that, you're going to exit the Lion Shield Coster 50 gold pieces richer as a party. Where would you like to go next?
Leif chimes in. Well, off to Halia.
So you make your way down the
Yeah.
street to the Miners Exchange. Once again, a building that is looking like probably the most secure place in Phandalin. As you walk through the front door, business seems to be a little bit more busy than it had been before. Lots more miners seem to be active now that they have heard that they are no longer going to be fenced or fleeced by the red brands in town. And you hear as much through some of the chatter. Halia is behind the counter at the far end, at the end of marked records. And she sees you as you come in. Oh, Leif. Yes, and the group. Come. We have a matter to discuss.
Leif just looks at the party and just goes and follows her.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And she this time is going to actually open up a hidden kind of latch underneath the counter that actually allows that to open, which you guys did not see before. Last time she took you around the back of the building, and this time she takes you through the front. Apparently you have earned a little bit more trust, and she's willing to take you back behind the counter where all manner of goods and precious metals seem to be hiding. And as you go back into her office, she goes ahead and shuts the door and says, I have to say once again, thank you very much. I am quite impressed. We definitely seem to have made the right decision with hiring you, Leif, and the rest of your companions seem to be of equal mettle. Leif came to me last night and delivered the correspondence that I had requested, and here is your reward. And she reaches underneath her desk, and you hear what here sounds like a lock go in as she opens up a drawer and pulls out a pouch of coins. And she goes, here you go. As agreed, 100 gold pieces.
I take it thankfully. And was there anything else that we can help you with?
No, but I was trying to help you. Were you able to locate the goblin that I had heard about in there? Was he able to let you know where this Cragmaw Castle was, where supposedly Gundren was taken to?
I think, and yeah, we did find the goblin, but we aren't 100% sure where we need to be at. I think we know where we want to go. Isn't that right? I kind of looked at the party, trying to remember.
Droop told us kind of where he thought the castle was, but I don't. He seemed kind of hazy on it, so I don't know how good the map is.
Just a wee bit hazy.
And with that, Droop is going to step out from behind Asheen and say, Droop kind of remember where castle is? Not really good with maps, though. And with that, Haley is going to take a look, and she's going to stand over her desk and kind of wide-eyed go, Dear, dear sweet, dear sweet, is that the goblin?
Yeah, that's the goblin.
And she was just
There
going
you
to look
go.
up to her
I'm
and
gonna-
smile. Hi.
I'm gonna take like somewhat of a protective step forward and say yes.
You brought him here?
Of course.
He seems it seems like he feels indebted to us for some reason, so it seems like we've got a goblin coming with us now.
Well, we did save him from being beaten and enslaved, but yeah, I mean, makes sense why he'd feel that way.
I gave him an apple.
An apple, yes, an apple.
He did
And
give
a
me an
dagger.
apple. It was tasty. Bad people hurt Droop. These people help Droop. Me help people. Find whoever looking for.
And with that, Haley is going to kind of lean back, still standing, and kind of process this. Well, it's very good indeed that you have a cloak on him. Whatever his name is, you make sure you keep that hood on everywhere. If people knew there was a goblin in this town, they would have a fit no matter whether or not you cleared out this place of the Red Brands or not.
His name is Droop.
Well, hello there, Droop.
Hi.
And with that, she's just going to sit down and kind of put her hand to her head, trying to just process the fact that there's a goblin in her office, something that she very much never thought would happen. And goes, I have been struggling to find information for you about Gundren's whereabouts. Other than the castle that appears to be our best lead, I did not have anything more. I was very shocked, as was the rest of the town, to learn that Iarno was indeed this Glassstaff fellow who was leading the Red Brands. Apparently he's going to be taken, or actually is already on his way, if I was to see the caravan leaving this morning at first light, to Neverwinter. So it's a lot to process here lately. That being said, I do deal in more things than just gold. I also deal with information. I will definitely contact you if I learn anything more about Gundren.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well, speaking of things other than gold, we do have some things other than gold that you might be interested in particular.
And with that, she leans forward and puts her hands together and touches her lips. Oh, really? What might you have?
And he reaches into his pouch and pulls out a bunch of the loot that we collected. The golden earring set, the malachite stones, the garnets, the platinum signet rings, and the carnelians and the perdos.
And Leif pulls out the eye patch that he used to impersonate Mosk and turns it over to show the jewels embedded inside.
Ah, and the statue of a frog.
And with that, her eyes are kind of get big. You have amassed quite the haul. I'm impressed. It's going to take some time to process this. Let me go ahead and record an inventory of what it is that you're providing, and I will go ahead and work up the value. And if you come back later on this afternoon, I should be able to give you a total of what these things are worth, as long as you trust me to keep them secure in this vault here. And she turns behind her, and there is a fairly sizable vault that she begins to open.
Okay.
That sounds perfectly fine. Any objections?
No.
Not from me.
Nope.
All right.
Agreed.
Well, thank you. I very much appreciate that, and we here at the Miners Exchange will be happy to exchange these goods for gold with you.
Thank you. We will be back later. Have a good day.
All right. And with that, your party leaves the miners' exchange. Where are you off to now?
As we walk towards the center of town again, I look at the mirror. So you said you had to speak to Sister Galatea,
Oh,
or
I just have to give her something real quick. It
okay?
shouldn't take more than a moment.
Did we want to follow up on that offer that Ederman had to speak about things?
Yeah, I think if we want to, we probably should go by the shrine and the smithy first, and because they're
Sure.
on the way,
They are.
unless we want to cut through the back. But
I think we can just go by the smithy after Sister Galatea.
yeah,
All right. Yep. Sounds like a plan.
So as you're in the center of town, you look over towards the shrine and you do not see Sister Garele standing there. But you do know from previous interactions that her house is right next door. Perhaps she is not out this morning yet, but you are more than welcome to go knock on her door.
I'll go over there and knock on her door. If you guys want to head over to the smithy, I'll meet up with you there.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Bamir, as you walk up to the door and you knock, you see the door open up, and Sister Graylee is standing there, and she goes, "Oh, Mr. Selenstra, back again. Have you been able to recover from your last night's ventures?"
Yes. I was hoping I could ask you for a favor or two.
Ah, yes. Anything. Here, please, come in. And she invites you to come in and sit down at her little table. Again, from last time, she had you sit in the same place. There's a small circular table with 2 wooden chairs, and you each sit across from each other.
First of all, I don't know if you have any contacts that could deliver a letter for me.
Surely.
And he pulls out the letter that I gave you
Mhm.
and hands it to her and says, "Can you see this makes it to Laughlin in uh, why am I blanking? In Waterdeep."
Absolutely. We Harpers have agents all over the place. I'm more than happy to have this on my next set of correspondence going to Waterdeep.
I appreciate that. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about is if there was any way. I know that the Harpers did a lot for me when my father passed away, and I'm trying to find the name of the woodworkers, the woodworker's last name.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you can
but
say Thel and Myrna.
I feel very much for Thel and Myrna, and I was wondering if there's any way that you could see if there's any help that the Harpers can bring to them since Thel's gone. I know it's a lot to ask, and I don't think that they're in any kind of trouble like we could have had. But
She's going to hold up her hand to have you stop talking and saying, "As you know, we Harpers are here to help those who need it. Say no more. I'll go check in with them. I did hear the unfortunate news about Thel. I was very relieved to hear that you have rescued Myrna and her 2 children. I will make sure that they are taken care of."
okay, and Bamir will pull out 10 gold of his own and give it to her and say, if this helps at all, please use it for that.
Always. She'll take it and she'll go and just put it on a little cabinet that she has behind her and and say, I will make sure that it is used to take care of the family.
Appreciate it. Okay. I have to go meet with the rest of my group at the smithy, but hopefully we'll be able to look into the matter with the Banshee soon.
Oh, will you? I was a little concerned. I know that it's not probably high on your priority list, but it's definitely something that would be very helpful to me. And she
Oh,
once again kind of puts her arms together and gives like kind of a really more feminine kind of wild to you, even though at this point she knows she doesn't have to. It's just kind of a natural impulse for her to kind of use all of her assets to try and garner her desired response.
Bamir will respond in kind of give her a wink and stuff, and just, be friendly.
All
So,
right.
but
And
then he will take his leave and run to catch up with the party.
so as you have been meeting with Sister Garela, the rest of the party has made their way down to the smithy. And as you walk up to the smithy, you can see that it's a very, well-equipped shop. You are kind of puzzled that you didn't take more notice of it before. It has a, very thickly built wooden beam structure with a slanted roof. You can see that there's a forge that has been constructed that is about 3 feet high, covered in these very heavy stones and clay with charcoals very vibrantly red, hot in them. And you can see that on top of that stands a chimney with smoke that seems to be constantly trickling out, and you can constantly hear the ring of the hammer hitting the anvil as he is forging steel. And as you approach, he's just sitting there, hammering away. Ting, ting, ting.
This is where you guys talk.
Sure. Excuse me, sir.
And he looks up. Ting. What can I do you for? Ting.
I need to get this armor fitted, and I like peel my cloak back and show the leather armor. It's kind of like shaggily, not really fitted to my frame very well.
He's going to look at it. What poor soul you steal that off of? Looks like it fits you like shite.
Indeed, it does. I got it off of a dead red brand.
Oh, all the better then. Yeah, sure. It'll be 5 gold pieces. I'll have that fitted up for you this afternoon.
All right. And then I'll just like stand there so he can get measurements, and then I'll take the armor off and hand it to him.
Asteria kind of pipes up and says, I guess I need to do the same. She kind of pokes at the armor that probably does not fit her because she's a very small little elf.
And with that, he's going to kind of peek around and see you and kind of give you a raised eyebrow as he clearly sees that you're an elf, but you're not the kind he's used to seeing. And he goes, all right there, lass. That's going to take me a bit more time to work with. You are quite the trim figure. Come back in I want to say a day or so, and hopefully I'll be able to work that for you.
Okay.
And with that, he takes both of the pieces of armor from you and kind of marks them quickly and sets them aside as he continues working on his projects, or as he continues to kind of put it in the queue of his projects. Is there anything else I can get any of you?
Actually, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Can you craft me some training heads for some arrow shafts?
You need me to craft you some arrows?
Sure.
Aye, I can do that.
How much? For how many?
Let's see. You them adventurers that took down the Red Brands.
Yes.
Tell you what. Oh, I'll give you. Oh, I'll give you a bundle of 50 for 20 silver pieces.
All right, give me 100, please.
Done. It's going to take me a bit, though. Probably the end of the
Sure.
week.
Sure.
It's a lot of fine work in there.
We have a deal. I'll just hold my hand out to shake his hand.
It's a half now, half later. So that'd be 5 gold for your armor, 5 gold for her armor, and then 40 silver pieces. So
And I'll
half that.
sure. I'll just reach back and grab my coin purse, and I'll count out what he asked and just hand it to him.
That money comes in handy, doesn't it? And
See?
he'll take it from you. He says, "Hi, thank you, sir. I appreciate your business. I will make sure to do a real nice job for you. Make sure this leather's nice and fitted and sturdy, and that the studs are not going to fall out like whoever obviously made this piece of shite before me.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I'll get to it." And with that, Bamir has caught up to you guys standing outside the smithy.
Hey, did y'all get the armor taken care of?
Yeah, we did. We're all fitted. We're ready to go.
Cool.
It's going to take a couple of days to get the armor ready. Mine should be, I guess, ready later on this afternoon, but he said it might take a couple days for Asteria's. And then I have another project he's going to work on. It's going to take him a bit.
He said to come back tomorrow, so I'll
Okay.
have to come back tomorrow.
All right. What else you got him working on?
I asked him to forge me some training arrows.
Oh, okay.
Where to now?
I guess we're gonna head to Edermeth.
As the party continues walking down the pathway and approaching the orchard, you kind of take in the beauty that you hadn't before. When you came to town, you were kind of in a bit of a rush trying to sound the alarm that Gundren had been taken, and that there is this threat that has come about, and you were immediately met with the tension and abuse of the Red Brands upon this town of Phandalin. And as you're now approaching Edermath's cottage, you get that minute to see just the beauty of the trees and kind of feel the wind flow through them, and again to see the bounty of apples upon them. And as you approach Edermath's door, you knock, and he opens up. And once again, this silver-haired older half-elf retired adventurer welcomes you and says, "Oh, good morning. Welcome back. I'm very delighted to see you. I heard last evening of your success in ridding this town of the Red Brand threat, and I have to tell you that I'm quite pleased to see some that are still holding the virtue high amongst their values. Please come in and have some midday tea."
We'd be delighted.
As he welcomes you in, you realize that even though the cottage looks rather small on the outside, it's actually fairly robust inside. There's a nice dome structure to it with a decent sitting table that can hold about 8 people. And he goes, "Here, please sit," and beckons you to sit at his table. And as he goes back into his room for a moment and no doubt draws some tea, as he comes back a moment later, he kind of provides each of you with glasses, then returns back again with some apple tea, which he brews fresh from his orchard. And he goes, it warms my heart to see again such adventurers doing good deeds just like we did back in the days of the gauntlet. Please, someone, if you wouldn't mind an old man's request, please regale me in the events that transpired. I would love to live vicariously through your youth.
Sure. So
The
we
bard looks over.
so I think
Like
about
the
it. I start to talk, and then I stop and I think about it for a second. I just look at Bamir and I just hold my hand out to him
No,
like, "Go ahead.
please.
You're a much better storyteller than me. I don't want this."
Think us a song of our tales, Bard.
Well, I haven't written a song yet, but let's see. The five of us arrived in the town after dealing with some goblins on the road that had acquired some of the goods from the Lion Shield Coster. We had dispatched them rather quickly as our abilities seemed to outstrip theirs quite handily. And high on that victory, we came into town looking for our friend Gundren and his companion Silder. But we soon learned of the menace of the red-cloaked Red Brands and their tyranny over the town. After speaking with many of the villagers about their toils with these miscreants, we decided, after some encouragement from the local establishments, that we should dispatch of these ruffians with all due haste. Therefore, we planned our assault on Tressenor Manor, the lair of these brigands. Seeking them out, we were able to dispatch a few that were sitting outside of the sleeping giant, and decided the next morning that we would take care of the rest of our lot. We found the secret entrance hidden behind the manor through the woods. We're able to dispatch a number of villainous bugbears, fed their corpses to I forget the name of the monster.
A Nothic.
Nothic.
A Nothic, who we were then able to slay in his own right without any trouble whatsoever. Dispatched the leader, who was the wannabe up and coming sorceress fiend, and rescued the woodworker's wife and children from the grasps of these evil beings who had been plaguing this place, and returned victorious to the town. And that is where we have come to today, to share the story with you.
By the gods, that is quite the story. My blood is running thick this morning. Thank you for sharing that with me. I wish that I could do more for you, but I was hoping that one of you might possess an affinity for archery. In my day, I was quite the longbowman, and I might be able to pass on something that could still see some use.
Wow.
Indeed, sir.
Yes, our ranger here is quite the marksman himself. He dispatched
Ranger.
He dispatched a number of the red brands with arrows through the eyes and the nose and even the ass.
Is that so?
Quite the target they made for us.
Indeed. Well, young ranger, come with me. I have something for you. And he beckons you to follow him back in his room. And as you do, you walk through the hallway and see his quite quaint kitchen, and then see a space that houses a bed and a small chest. And he goes into his chest and opens this very unassuming wooden box and pulls out something wrapped in cloth. And he turns around and he says, "Young Master Ranger, these helped me many, many, many times through many adventures. Hopefully, they will help you as well." And he unwraps this cloth to reveal a set of bracers. And they are bracers of archery. They are very, very finely crafted leather and metal with a groove in the inside arm for where fletching of an arrow would sit to make them fly a bit truer. They're engraved with a symbol of 3 arrows and an elf head, where you can see that these were very finely crafted and probably crafted specially for him at the time. And he says, "Please hold out your arms. I'll put these on. See how they fit."
Sure. So I peel back the shirt that I have on, revealing my forearms, and I just turn my hands out, arms up.
And he looks down and he grabs one of your arms and he notices the mark of Chevrash. And his eyes grow curious. He goes, "Young Ranger, that's the mark of Chevrash. Consumed with vengeance, are you?"
Against those that have wronged my family, my village.
Well, if I can impart the words of an old man, be careful with Chevrash. He is vengeful, and he is mostly just. However, his means are a bit absolute. If you carry this mark, you may be in for more than what you think. Steel yourself, and don't forget who you are." And as he says these words, he straps up the bracers on your arms, and they seem to fit quite well as your half-elf form and his half-elf form and your form seem to be of compatible make. And you can add bracers of archery to your inventory.
I nod at him and I say, "Thank you, sir."
And he just gives you a nod. "Remember what I said." And you together walk back to the party. And with that, he does not have anything more for you. You are able to finish up your tea, and he politely ushers you out of his home and says, "That was good excitement. I do believe it is time for me to take another nap. Thank you
Oh.
so much. And if you, through your adventures, have any more stories, please come back and humor an old man."
I hope that we can return one day and hear stories of your adventures too. I'm sure they were quite entertaining in their own right.
Oh, fair trade indeed. I will regale you of the Order of the Gauntlet's many deeds. Maybe
And
I might be able to persuade a few of you to join at some point. We'll see.
could I trouble you at some time, sir, to perhaps go for a shoot?
Go for a shoot. It's been a while since my fingers have touched the fletchings, but sure, why not? Sounds like fun.
I believe I'll let you get to your nap then. Have a good day.
And he's gonna yawn. Good luck on your adventures. And shut the door. Now, those
Silent night.
bracers of archery faded. While wearing these bracers, you have a proficiency with the longbow and shortbow, and you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls on ranged attacks made with those weapons. So make sure you
Nice.
add that item. It is a special item.
And don't forget to equip it.
And it does
Uh,
require attunement, so you
they
will need to
require
spend some
attunement.
time.
Yes. So whenever we take our next long rest, I'll attune.
Cool.
I don't think you need a long rest. It's just a short rest.
Oh. Okay.
Next rest.
As you make your way back to town, give me 1 second here.
As we are walking, Leif just silently nudges the mirror. I don't remember him shooting anyone in the rear.
Yeah, I don't remember shooting someone in the ass either.
A
Look,
bit
I
of,
Pretty sure it
took
would-
dramatic liberty, okay? It's what we do.
fair
I'm pretty
enough.
sure I shot him in the ear, not the ass. But hey, close enough. Hole's a hole.
That's not what she
True
said.
enough. True enough.
So you're walking down the path from Edamath's Orchard back towards the smithy, and you meet kind of the main road that's going out to the Tribord Trail. A rider comes in and pulls up right in front of you and starts yelling out to the town, "Goblins! Orcs! Close! Help!" And you can see that he's visibly has blood streaming from his face and looks like he had barely escaped with his life from some kind of encounter.
Bamir looks back at the rest of the group, nods, and then runs up to the guy to see if he can aid him in any way. And he will make a medicine check, even though he's terrible at it.
Hysteria will follow him and help.
Give me your check.
Bamir gets a 3 on medicine.
You
I
walk up to
rolled
him.
a natural 20,
It looks
so
like
I'm
you have
glad
a
I helped
cut
you.
on your head, sir.
As you approach him, Bamir, you basically just grab an arm and pull him towards you in an effort to help. And he goes, huh, and kind of stumbles, but is able to maintain his footing. Sir, did you not hear this goblins and orcs fighting just a mile or two down the road? We need to prepare defenses in the town. They might be coming here next.
How many are there?
I couldn't tell. There was an ambush. They were fighting each other. There was, I don't know, 10, 20. A lot, okay?
Take a deep breath.
And as he starts to slow his breath, Hysteria, you say you got a 20?
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do on to help this poor rider?
Try to calm him down. Just try to see if he has any visible wounds that need tending to.
As he is gasping for breath, Hysteria, you walk over and you put a hand on his shoulder and then kind of walk around to where he can see you and look him in the eyes and tell him to be calm. And with that, he slows his breathing, and you can see that he just has a cut that runs from his hairline down to about his eye that seems to be streaming fairly well with blood, but it doesn't appear to be life-threatening.
All right. Now that he's kind of calmed down a little bit, you said that the orcs and goblins were fighting each other.
That's what I saw. I couldn't believe it, but they were fighting each other. It was an all-on onslaught. I don't know if the orcs are marching here and ran into goblins or what was happening. They're all around here these days. I no doubt you've seen the post of the town masters. Orcs have been raiding caravans coming through the trail, and goblins are seen all over the place now.
Okay. Who are you?
I'm My name is Jack. I work for Harbin, the townmaster, as a scout.
Okay, Jack. Go tell Harbin everything that you told us. And he kind of looks back at the rest of the group, and I think we'll probably go investigate this situation. Does that sound good with everybody?
Yeah, sounds like fun. Let's go.
I should probably get my armor back from that guy before we leave.
Oh, you might have to go with your old stuff
Not
if
ready.
it's not ready yet, because
Yeah, I can put it on. I just got to run back up to the inn and grab it.
As you
all right.
as you tell Jack to go to Harbin's, he hops back on his horse and rides away. And you go.
Oh, Jack, let him know that the adventurers are on it too.
Yes, sir. And he goes with that information to go tell Harbin. And you guys are making yourselves ready. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, give me uno momento.
Asheen, me and you are gonna have a shoot off. I just realized I am also proficient in bows.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
At some point, we need to RP that just cause.
I'm pretty sure
It'll
you're
come.
more proficient in smashing, but yes.
Yes, I am. But I'm a hunter, so I hunt. I'm fairly decent with bows.
You're a barbarian.
I'm down. So I'm gonna run up to the inn and go up to my room, and I'm gonna rummage through my things to grab my leather armor. I'm gonna like throw my backpack down. I'm gonna grab my quiver. I'm just gonna like
Gear up.
go through my stuff and just make sure I have what I need and nothing more. And then I'll come back down and meet up with the group. So I got these bracers, and I feel like I need to like meditate about them for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Can I reasonably take the time to do that?
It's up to the group. If you feel like you need to take the time to ready yourselves before you go and you can spare an hour to attune to the bracers, then that would be a group decision.
I'm pretty antsy to get to the orcs.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a little urgent.
Mimir kind of doesn't want the situation to get to the town if he can help it.
Sure.
You can play with your toys later.
They're gonna make me more effective in combat.
Well,
You
you're
were pretty
effective
effective already.
I think we can handle this, and afterwards, sure.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go. I'm ready to go.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess we'll head out on the Tribor Trail.
As your party gathers in anticipation of this melee, you follow Jack's basic directions and head about 1.5 miles down the Tribor Trail. And as you start to crest over a hill, you hear the sound of swords clashing, of shouting, of combat.
I'm gonna hold my hand up and make sure the group's quiet, so I can like maybe get down and sneak a little further forward to get a better eye before we're exposed to the melee down below.
As you crest over the hill very stealthily, you can see just about 150 feet in front of you, there seem to be a pack of orcs fighting a pack of goblins. There are multiple dead goblins on one side, and there are a few dead orcs on the other. Still standing, you can see are one fairly commanding orc who seems to be directing the field of battle in addition to engaging these goblins. And you see about 6 other orcs with him. And on the goblin side, you can see about 8 goblins remaining, a combination of shooting arrows from a slight incline on a hill and tree cover, and a few that are actively engaging in melee with the orcs. But it does appear that the goblins are losing.
Are the orcs flying any flag, or is there any like markings that I can tell, like what tribe they're with or anything?
I would say you're a little too far away to get that detail. You would need to
Cannot see that
close the
yet.
distance before you would be able to perceive any of those types of details. As of right now, all you hear is
Kill them all and get them. Filthy orcs, kill them.
lots of that.
Or a lot of unintelligible crap
I'm
because they're.
I'm
probably
assuming
talking
that
goblin
Droop is
language.
still shadowing me.
Droop is still shadowing you.
I'm gonna tell Droop to stay here and not enter this fight because I don't want him to die.
Troop, stay here. Watch you.
And he is going to post up behind a bush and kind of work his way in to the bush. And he is almost completely hidden, holding his staff, hiding in his cloak.
And then can I
It's bright red cloak.
so his bright red cloak. I'm gonna look at
It's a
the
bush man.
group and say stealth might be our best bet, and the orcs are the bigger threat.
Well, they are bigger. How many are there?
8, 6,
7.
7.
Small party.
7 orcs. And 8 goblins. Okay. Yeah, let's go for the orcs first. And if we can get close, I think I've got something that will help us out a lot.
I'm probably gonna try to stay back a little bit a ways so that I can make use of my range. Just letting the party know.
So would you like to give me a party stealth check, please?
Frank.
Oh,
good.
finally. 18.
We're
Okay.
starting off great.
4.
22.
Okay.
Actually, can I not try to be stealthy and try to actually make myself seen to the other orcs?
That's
Possibly
a ballsy
help
move.
Do you want it? I mean, do you want to ruin
Ballsy.
this for the rest of our party?
Yes, I do. I
Oh,
absolutely
no.
do.
I mean, 4 of us can be stealthy and one of us doesn't have to.
I'm very much interested in these orcs, and I do not
I
want
would-
to engage them off.
I'd rather
Off
you
bat.
don't run down there and die.
Maybe we shouldn't aggravate them.
Well, I mean, you could always say
They're
hello to them
obviously
and we can
winning.
say hit it.
Well, just if you're gonna just run in, then wait until you hear us enter the battle. Then you can run in.
Just can we not attack the orcs first?
Yeah, sure, why not?
But
If you have a plan, go
why-
for it.
Okay, why aren't we?
What's your
attacking the
plan?
Orcs?
I would like to see if I can maybe talk to the lead orc. But first, obviously, they have to stop fighting. So goblins
mean-
need to die.
You know, we don't have to kill everybody that we fight with, right? We can knock him unconscious and kill everything else.
Good luck getting him to talk after hurting him.
I think
We can
Filtroop's
be
got a
pretty
little bit of a point.
persuasive.
Do you
Orcs
really
are
think they're not going to
strong-willed.
attack us?
They're
There's
definitely
7
gonna
of
attack us.
them.
Half orc.
Okay,
Try
Yes.
to use some leverage here.
you're not traveling with half orcs. However,
Stay back for a moment.
And if they
anything
just turn
goes
on you and
down-
murder you, then what do we do?
If you see them turn on me, attack.
Well, they're kind of in the middle of attacking things already.
And haven't they already been attacking people on this road? Like, we know that these orcs are bad.
Are you saying all orcs are bad?
I'm not saying all orcs are bad. I'm saying that the orcs that are on this road that have been attacking people are bad.
Just I need answers.
I don't think now is the time for answers, but
I'm more concerned with the safety of the village that is behind us.
Why don't we do two things then? Let's mix the plans. We let them fight the goblins while we watch. Maybe one or two of them will die, and then there's less of them to deal with if something goes wrong.
I don't think any of them are gonna die. If it's 7 orcs against 8 goblins, I'm pretty sure that the goblins are gonna get wiped pretty handily.
You can bleed pretty fast if you get stabbed in the crotch. Maybe one of them will die.
I'm not sure how
They will
you
die a warrior's
understand
death.
that, but look,
I'm fine either way.
I'm
you-
fairly confident that we can get information out of this leader, even if we start attacking him first, if we can beat the rest of his crew. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, then
If we want to let them sit here and fight those goblins, I mean, they're just goblins.
Amir kind of looks at Droop. Then looks back. He's like,
He's not
Okay.
just a goblin.
okay.
Drooping bush. Stay here.
All right, so what are we doing then?
I guess we're waiting. Is that the plan?
I have no idea anymore.
I mean, I was all for using the element of surprise and maybe whittling the orcs down to just the leader, and then we can question the leader and deal with the goblins.
As you guys have been talking, you notice that the orcs have taken out 2 of the goblins, and that the goblin archers have felled one of the orcs.
Oh, good for the goblins.
So there are now 6 orcs and 5 goblins?
6 goblins.
6 goblins. Thank you.
8 minus 2 is 6. In most cases.
Okay.
Leif looks at the fighting, then looks at Godruk. Is there a reason that you just want to go up to a bunch of orcs and say hello outside of just answers?
It's personal.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to question that.
I mean, I'm all for, you trying to figure out whatever it is that you're trying to figure out. But
You
we
could-
don't want to.
I said you could help them fight the goblins? You are half orc. Maybe they'll like that.
That's what I'm trying to do. But if we attack them first, it really won't go over well.
Okay, you can attack the goblins with them. Go for it. We'll make sure you don't die.
Appreciate it.
And as you have continued conversing, the battle has inched closer your way by about 30 feet as the goblins had tried to reposition. And you see a goblin running not 80 feet from you, running up the hill towards where you are, and a javelin soars through the air and sticks him through the back and through the chest, and he dies.
Leif just looks at Godruk. Now's your chance.
I just want to orc war cry and go in and try to attack a goblin and hope to not get hit by an orc.
Okay. We'll back him up.
I'm gonna ready my bow.
Syria's gonna look at Ashi and this man has death wish. And she's gonna
Alright.
start to get ready.
Leif just draws Talon and it's a small laugh. This will be fun.
And you're close enough now to hear the sounds of the orcs seemingly enjoying themselves. Yes! Fulgranch! Kill the goblin filth! Send them to Acheron!
I don't think these guys are going to be friendly if they're worshippers of Grumsh. But
I'm in agreement.
He'll move forward with Corrupt if Corrupt's moving in. Oh, sorry. If Godoric's moving in, then Amir will follow.
Yeah, let's
Are we
do it.
rolling initiative?
Yes, let's roll some initiative.
But I haven't rolled anything over a 3.
Nat 20. I'll take it.
24.
So 22 technically.
Hold on, it did
I rolled a
not
19.
take
Let
my
him
characters.
get his combat going.
Ow.
There we go. There we go. All right. Godoric nat 20.
Nat 20.
So what's that total?
22.
22. Okay.
24.
24.
Mysteria got a 15.
Okay.
5.
Amir got a 10.
All right. And Droop is not in combat. Okay.
Before we enter this, I will take off my robes or anything covering the fact that I am half orc. I want it to be well known.
So as you discard your cloak to the side and let your full orcishness into view, you walk over the crest of the hill, now in plain view of the orcs. They do not yet see you as they are still fixated on the goblins, of which now there are only 4. 3 of which who are still up in the hill area, and 1 which is fleeing the battlefield. And you can hear one say, "By my blade, slay the cowards."
How far away is he? The
You
one that's
were
running?
you're I'll say after you crest the hill, you're about 60 feet away. From this distance, you can see that the 5 remaining orcs that are just kind of your standard orc fare seem pretty standard soldiery orc, just regular warriors that are outfitted for battle. But you can tell the one that has been shouting orders to the rest of the group, he dons this kind of bare-headed pauldron on one side and has a longsword that is rather ornately cleaver-esque and menacing looking. What do you do? We rolled initiative, but you are not yet part of the initiative.
And I yell, scream something in orc to somewhat get their attention and move closer to combat.
As you let out this orc cry, you can see the 2 of the orcs look at you, and as they do, one of the orcs takes 3 arrows to the chest and is killed.
Oops.
You now have all the orcs' attention, and as they look at you, not recognizing you at all, they do not seem like they're there to engage you as they turn their focus back to the goblins. And one takes a javelin and throws it and pretty much aces the dude through the face with his javelin. Now leaving 2 goblins remaining. In view, anyway.
Have I passed the goblins they hit with the javelin before?
As you are walking, are you going to continue walking towards them even after they didn't respond to your manly orc cry?
I would like to try to grab that javelin and possibly use it.
Okay.
to show that I'm on their side. Maybe throw it toward a goblin.
All right. Then let's go ahead. So Ashin, you're gonna hold your turn.
I will hold my action.
Okay. Godorek, then you are up. And you say you want to pull the javelin out of that goblin and attempt to hit one of the goblins.
Yes.
So you're now about 60 feet away, which I think is right around your range. You can move closer if you wish.
Yeah, 60 is fine. I can do 30 to 120. So, I think I'm gonna stay where I am with that. And
Okay.
just take a throw.
Roll to hit.
17.
That'll hit.
And 8 damage.
As you pull back this javelin, you eye up the last goblin archer behind the tree, and you have a better angle, it seems, than the orcs do. And you pull back and let it fly. And as it does, it hits the goblin through its side, and its body kind of folds and pins him to the side. And you can see him take one last labored breath, and he dies. And with that, the orcs all turn to you and stare at you. Asteria, it is your turn.
Asteria is gonna hold her action.
And with that, the somewhat leader of this band of orcs is going to approach you for his full movement speed of 30 feet. It is now standing 30 feet from you, Godoruk, and says, "You! Who are you?" And in here, we're going to halt initiative for RP.
Yep.
I'd like to tell him that I am Gothruk in work.
He's speaking to you in common now, but then in orc, he goes, "I don't know you. Applied the blade of Illinval. I will find out if you're worthy. Come with me."
Can my party come too?
And he looks at
What
you.
party?
I see no one.
I have friends.
We were hiding.
I don't care.
Pamir wasn't hiding. He was walking up with him.
And
Can I explain to him that I have friends? I'm traveling with the group, and they are not enemies.
then he's gonna take a look at Bamir and recognize him as some kind of elf and scoff. "Ugh. You call yourself an orc traveling with elf filth? You don't belong to a tribe. How can you be worthy?"
Give me a chance and I'll prove myself.
Prove yourself. Well, you did skewer a goblin, but any orc with half an arse can skewer a goblin.
Can I pull out my the Nothic head that I'm rolling around with?
Sure.
I will show him that as a trophy. We have slain bigger enemies than puny goblins.
And with that, he's going to turn to the side. Mine's bigger. And he has this bear head mounted to his shoulder. I'm still not impressed, little man.
I'm gonna stand up on the hilltop.
Oh yeah, another elf.
You realize you're only half orc, too,
I-
right?
I know. This was a bit.
They were gonna come probably attack the town anyway.
We'll kill him if we have to.
You
I'd rather
better
not do
say
it
something
first,
real
though.
quick, or they're gonna...
So there's no more goblins left, correct? Or
There's still goblins left.
There's still 2.
There's still 3, only 1 in sight.
There's one goblin left, and he is not in
Oh.
sight.
He's not in sight. Damn
Well,
it.
2 goblins left.
No, there's just one. I know you didn't hear about the other one dying, but I clearly said there's only 3 left, and 2 had died, and 1 ran away.
Okay.
Yeah, but we got our own goblin.
You guys are
This is
just
gonna be-
aces right now.
I wasn't gonna tell him that. Can I challenge him to one-on-one combat?
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I don't care. Let's go. To prove myself.
What do you say to him?
Where's that? I challenge you to a fight to the death.
And he looks
Prove
at you,
myself.
and he looks back at his horde, and he lifts his sword, and he says, "All of you, this puny half-orc says he wants to fight me, Brugor, Blade of Ilnafall. I like his spirit. All right. Men, orcs, come on. Once I'm done with him, we'll kill the rest of this elf filth." And he accepts your challenge.
Enough talking. Let's get to it.
So as you walk down the hill to where the carnage was, there's a bit of a flat spot that is about 30 feet wide, and the orcs go behind Brugor and kind of start cheering and chanting and pounding their chests with their fists, saying, "Brugor for Grumsh! Brugor for Grumsh!" And just keep chanting basically the entire time. And is the rest, does the rest of
Bamir
your
is
party
walking
expose
behind-
yourselves? So
Sorry.
far, it's only Bamir and Ashin.
Bamir is walking up behind Gotrek and says, "Hey, we're here if you need us, man. Good luck." And gives him Bardic Inspiration.
Remind him what Bardic Inspiration does.
You get a D6 that you can spend on any D20 roll, or sorry, any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw in the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
So anytime you want to add a D6 to that roll, you just say it.
All right.
Just once in the next
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Has anybody else chosen to expose yourselves, or are you still hidden?
Assyria's gonna stand up next to Ashin.
Okay.
She's just watching, I guess.
So Leif can still see the action while hidden, though.
Yes.
Leif will stay hidden.
So if you stay hidden, I'll say that you're 60 feet away hidden. Droop is still further away than that, hidden in a bush, watching. Still here. And Bamir, you are standing next to Godoruk, and
I'm
Fade and
standing
Mysteria
about
are
30 feet back from him.
yeah, in terms of behind the circle, are you standing with Bamir, or are you kind of further away?
Who?
Assyria and Ashin.
We were still on the hill, weren't we?
Yeah, I want to stay about like 60 feet.
Okay. So you'll stay towards the top of the hill, a good distance away where you can still be seen, but you are not actively in the fray. As you approach the circle, Savage, Brugor looks at you and standing about 20 feet away from you says, "Are you ready? Because I'm not going to hold back. Prove to me your worth not killing."
I'm just gonna grip my maul tight and look him in the eye.
Roll initiative.
Alright,
Amir's going to roll too.
Yeah, we're all
He's
rolling
gonna
initiative,
be
right?
ready.
Yeah, I'm
I would
gonna
have
roll
you. I
initiative.
would
as
have
well.
you guys re-roll initiative. Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Work. Die, please. Thank you.
19.
18.
1 second. Okay. Goderic, you're at 18. Ashin, you are 19.
Amir's also at 18.
Mir is at 18.
17.
Okay.
And 13.
13. Okay. And with that, Brugor is going to take his turn first. And he's going to go. I'm coming, I hope you're ready. And he's going to roll to attack. Oh. He rolls a 12.
To hit or
Yeah, 12 to hit.
Oh.
he does not hit then.
And then rolls a nat 20.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah. And he does 20 damage. 20 piercing damage. Oh, excuse me. 20 slashing damage to you.
Oh, okay. This was a bad idea, but oh
You
well.
you have resistances, don't you?
Nope,
Not at
he
the
hasn't
moment.
raged yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
You didn't
Only
rage
when he
before
rages.
this?
I didn't. I thought about it, but I didn't.
Always rage.
I was waiting for combat and hoping 18 was high enough.
Never.
You're up next. What do you
Um,
do?
I'm going to rage. And let's see, reckless attack with my maul. I don't remember what all that is. Probably should have read what reckless attack did before this, 'cause I totally forgot.
This gives you advantage on attack rolls. At least that's what it does for you.
Yeah.
So 20, not a nat 20, but 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I can use that inspiration on this attack as well, correct?
If you've already
Or is
rolled
it
a
just a
20,
hit?
I would suggest not to.
Yeah,
Okay,
you already
that's
hit.
just for D20s. Yeah, that's not the actual damage roll. So 14 damage.
And as you take your maul, you look at yourself, bloodied, and you rage. And you
I'm sorry, 16 damage.
16
I raged.
damage. Okay.
I raged. I forgot that
So-
I raged.
You rage, and your body starts to swell, and you roar with this rage. And the roar that you make almost channels the spirits of the bears that you now have as your totem. and it sounds like a bear growl. And you go, "Roar!" And you take your maul and you smack him right upside the head with it. And you hear this thud, and his head cracks down. And he pulls himself back up. You see adjust his jaw. It was a good hit. I hope you've got better than that, though. Because I'm not done. And it's his turn. Mm. 11 to hit.
Does not hit.
And he takes his long sword and he goes to retaliate and does a big swing down, trying to slash you across the chest. And you nimbly step back as he misses. And you're up again.
I'm going to take another swing. 18 to hit.
That just hits.
14 damage. Actual 14 this time.
And he deal him
also,
another 14
I'm going
damage.
non-lethal, even just in case. I know I said fight to the death, but I am going non-lethal.
And at this point, you have just kind of jumped out of the way of that axe sling, and you bring your hammer down onto his shoulder, and he takes a bludgeoning damage straight to his off shoulder. Not the one with the pretty bear, but the one that's exposed. And he goes, ugh! And this time he's a little slower to get up.
Yield, you roguish full-born strumpet!
Nice hit, boy. Come on, I'm getting fired up now. And it's his turn again. Was that last attack reckless?
That last one was not.
Not reckless. Okay.
No.
You are lucky. Because he would have had advantage.
Yeah.
12.
That's my opening move.
12
Does
to
not
hit.
hit.
Okay. As he swings and misses again, he looks at you and goes, "Oh, come on, stand still and take it like an orc." And it's your turn.
I'm just gonna keep swinging.
You are getting the luckiest rolls of your life. What do you have, like 10 HP left?
9.
Just 9.
Jeez. Good God.
A 20, not a nat 20, but a 20.
20 will hit.
And for damage, 13 to damage.
Jeez. All right. In this time again, as you back up, it's almost like the same thing in reverse, only you have an upswing this time and hit him again in the head, in his jaw, and bring his head up. And he arches his back and comes back down. Because you got a lot of spirit, boy. I like you. I'm really starting to like you. One more. One more. Let's see if you can live one more.
Amir's like, a good fighter can hit his target, you pribbling poxmark canker blossom.
15 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, shit.
I hope you've learned your lesson, boy. Because this time, it's lights out. And he feigns to hit you with a punch, and then uppercuts you with his sword hand. And you take the hilt right to the face. It upends you, and you fall on your back unconscious. And as Brugor stands victorious over your body, he looks back at his orcs, and and they all start beating their chests even faster. And they say, "Hey, Brugor, yes, Brugor, Vogramsh, Brugor." And you are down.
How much damage did he do with the last one?
14.
Did you half in it? I was raging.
He's got
I was
resistance.
raging.
Rage,
I still got 2 health, baby. I still got 2 health.
And as he does that,
Let's go.
and as he does that, you get yourself back up. And you look at him, and what do you say? His back is to you at this point, and he thinks he's victorious.
I just want to scream, I'm not down yet. Turn around and face me.
Was that it?
And he turns around, seeing that attack should have rendered you unconscious based on your bodily state. You're slumped over a little. You're showing signs of wear. He's certainly kind of really put a dent in your face, as well as a big cut across your chest. And as he looks at you, and it's still your turn, by the way, in terms of combat, as he looks at you, he kind of raises an eyebrow. "Not done yet, you little whelp. All right, come with it then."
Kick his ass, sea bass.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna keep swinging.
Roll to hit.
23.
That will hit.
Damn.
You and these rolls.
17 damage.
Wow.
I love these dice. Thank you, D&D Beyond.
Not a sponsor, but hey, we'd love you to be one.
Dude.
Join that Dice Alpha, the hero tier. As you take your hammer and you stare him square in the face, and you say, "I'm not done yet." And you bring your maul overhead and smack him on the top of the head, and it forces his body straight flat on his face into the ground. And he is beaten.
Orcish war cry.
And with
I
that,
just want to yell, "I am orc," as loud as I can in orc.
with that, the other orcs standing behind Brugor lift their heads to you as they stop chanting. And they honestly are awestruck that you were able to best Brugor. And at that time, Brugor picks himself up, puts his hands next to him, pushes himself up, and stands up and meets you tusk to tusk. Well, boy. Who are you?
The man who just kicked your ass.
Strength respects strength. Again, I ask, who are you?
I am Godoruk, a clanless half-orc.
And as he is examining your features and looking you over, clanless. We'll see about that. I'd like you to come with me, boy.
Lead the way.
You're going to go with Brugor.
I'm going with Urgo for now.
Premier sends Karup or Godorek a message. And he's like, what are you doing?
Getting answers. Hopefully.
Do you want us to come with you?
I will ask Brugor if the band of adventurers that are traveling with me, playing it up like I'm leading them, can come along.
You mean to ask me if I'll allow elf filth and that shittily hidden goblin in the bush over there to come back to my camp? He kind of sniffs you.
They're not a threat.
All elves and goblins are threats. You just haven't learned that yet.
I haven't lost yet.
Very well. They can join you. But if they start anything, I promise Grumsh, that they will all be destroyed.
Bamir comes up then. He's like, I promise you, if we start something, we're gonna finish it. And he claps Godorek on the shoulder and casts Cure Wounds on him.
For how much?
Let's find out. He's gonna cast it at 2nd level.
Ooh.
Oh, snap.
Because you lost a lot of hit points.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, you get healed for 12.
I'll take it.
And with that heal, you stand up a little bit straighter, as it is not quite so hard to breathe and to hold up your own weight anymore. Mr. 2 HP.
Come on, Droop.
But
then
did
we'll,
I die?
Troop character orc camp. Okay.
And he will follow.
I'm gonna while we're walking to like rejoin the group, I'm gonna look down at Droop and I'm gonna like whisper, I don't trust this. Just to let him know that I kind of be leery. And then I'm gonna tell him just to stay next to me.
Alright, troop, not move anywhere.
So with that, Brugor and his band of orcs have now kind of gathered around you and are escorting you to an outpost about a mile or so away from where this engagement happened. This outpost is seemingly newly established. It has basic defenses and a few cut down trees that are kind of outwardly pointed as pikes and as kind of a barrier. There's multiple tents with about 10 orcs in view, and then there's a very large tent that has this enormous bear head that is kind of in a ring of claws over its door. There's a large fire in the center of this camp with multiple spits turning over it, with a number of orcs preparing a meal. Around the smaller tents where you see the remaining orcs, they seem to be sharpening blades, doing things like tanning leather, and there's actually a couple that are sparring off in a corner. And as you walk into camp, they all turn and look at you and immediately start to get anxious. and they pick up their weapons. Elf filth! And Brugor puts up his hand, and he lets out this huge orc scream that resonates for probably a good mile. Ah! Nobody move. They are mine. If you touch them, I will kill you myself. And with that, they very cautiously step backwards in a less aggressive posture, still holding their weapons, looking at you now in the center of camp. Brugor walks into the main tent, parting the cloth that it is made up of, and then with one arm peering back through the cloth, beckons you to join. And the 5 remaining orcs kind of prop up on either side of the door as sentries, as it is clear Brugor is the leader of this band.
I follow him in.
As you enter the orc tent, you see that he actually has a desk towards the kind of rear of the tent that appears to have a map of the Tribor area, with multiple figurines stacked and arranged in various ways upon it. There are a fairly large bed that is adorned with deer antlers and many furs on one side, and a very large chair at the other end, also seemingly made of spare animal bones and parts. Brugor walks over and grabs a horn of mead and sits down in his chair. Again I say, tell me who you are, and takes a big old quaff of his mead.
Are we all
You were all there, yep.
okay? I'm gonna walk up to Goderic, and I'm also gonna cast Cure Wounds on him. For 6 HPs.
Gets me back up to 20. I'll take it.
Starting to look a little less the worse for wear as Brugor continues to nurse his wounds and starts wrapping some of his kind of different extremities in cool wraps and other clearly kind of advanced but still homeopathic remedies to medicine. And again, he asks, who are you? And he's looking at you with a very inquisitive and calculated stare this time, whereas before you could clearly see that he was in this enraged, battle-thirsty state. He is now much more cerebral than what you had processed orcs doing.
I am an outlander. I was orphaned at a young age. I don't know who I am.
Orphan, what do you mean, boy? What do you remember?
My father was an orc. My mother was a human. They had a secret relationship, and when the orcs found out, when his clan found out, they didn't approve, and they killed him.
Well, that's a load of bullshit. We don't care who you fuck as long as you fight for Grumsh.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, your ears full of shit or something? Boy, listen, you know nothing of orcs, do you?
Nothing at all.
You fight like a fucking bear, but you are dumb as a sack of rocks. Sit over there. And he points to this kind of menagerie of stools that he has in there around the war table. And he
go
beckons
take a
you and the group to sit. Good boy.
I'm gonna stand by the door.
Okay. And he's going to keep an eye on you. He goes, listen here, boy. Takes a big drink. We orcs, we live in a fight, but we don't carry you, fuck. Mating is not necessarily something that we do for fun like other beings do. We do it because we need war. We need conquest. We need to take back the lands that were taken by them filthy fucking elves and the like.
Ah! I'm gonna scoff at that.
Yeah, you scoff what you
shoot.
like them,
I'll
mister,
sheen a
but it's
look.
true. We tried to be in the mountains and the dwarves were there. We tried to settle in the forest peacefully and the elves were there. We tried to go in the plains and men were there. Where the place for the orcs, eh? Where's the place for us? We live too. We breathe. We eat. We fight. We deserve a piece of place to live. In fact, that's why we were here today, tracking these damn goblins that have moved into this territory. You know, we left that pissant town alone because there's nothing there of value. We took everything that was there long ago. But you know what? When goblins move in, them damn magoobliet worshipping pieces of filth, oh god, we couldn't stand for that. So we moved in here to figure out where they were and to take them out.
Don't listen to him, Troop.
We've run into quite a few goblins around here.
Yeah, bastard Cragmaw ones think they're all high and mighty, sharpening their teeth like they've got oak tusks. They ain't as sharp as ours, though. And he
They fall
takes another
quickly under
drink.
'em all.
Amir sends a message to Goderic. And it's like, see if you can find out where Cragmar Castle is. See if they know.
Good idea. We were actually going to dispatch some goblins from a nearby castle.
Going to Cragmore Castle.
If we can find it.
If you can find it. Well, I know where it is. I do. But that's gonna be a conquest for real orcs. That it is. Now, to give you a little bit more education. Orcs, we live in clans, you see. You notice this bear here, and he taps his shoulder. Did you see the bear above my tent?
I noticed it, and he's gonna take out a necklace that has a big bear claw on it that he's been wearing.
Yeah, well, that's the patron spirit of this clan, the bear. We fight like bears. We're tough like bears. And you know what, you bastard? You fight like one too. You said your father had a secret relationship with your mother. How old are you, boy?
23.
You would be that age. Tell you what, boy. There was a lost son of one of our war chiefs a ways back. Can't remember him laying with a human woman, though. But I do remember it was humans that attacked a place where he was and supposedly took his boy. I wonder if that's you. And he gets out of his chair. And he walks over. And he looks around you again. Closer this time. He grabs your jaw and turns your head. Couldn't be. No one's seen our boy for years and years and years. And he goes and sits back down. He goes, tell you what. And he creaks his neck, still trying to adjust from that beating and blows you gave him with your maul. I do like you, boy, but you better stay the fuck away from that castle, I tell you. We are going to take that back, and it's going to be orc prize. And that's that. You best move along if you know it's good for you.
We don't want the castle, just the goblins inside it.
Well, we all want the goblins. We want to kill them, string them up, make them examples for others, put them on pikes and hang them on the road. Maybe scare them humans coming up the trail.
Can I interject?
Right,
You
What
can
do
do
you want,
whatever you
Elf?
want.
you could just interject.
No, Ashin is saying that. May I interject?
What do you want, Elf?
I'd like to make you an offer.
I don't deal with elves, but you're free to speak for now.
What if we relieve the goblins from the castle for you and leave it for you?
What fun would that be?
Oh, you're welcome to join us if you want to join us in the assault of the castle.
You think I would fight alongside a handful of filthy fucking elves? You're out your damn mind.
It's just an offer. Take it or leave it.
Sends a message to Ashin. We cannot let a band of orcs take up a castle this far into the region.
I'm going to respond to his message and say I really don't plan on it.
Listen. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to let you walk out of here. I'm going to keep an ear to the ground about you. And he points to Godric. I don't know why, but I got a feeling that we ain't done, you and me. And to show my respect for you besting me in battle, I'm going to give you something. And he reaches back behind his chair. And he pulls out this giant notes. And it's a warhammer with a bear open mouth at one end and a spike at the other. And he goes, you know what? Us bears should stick together. Should our paths cross again, or you see any other orcs with bear symbols, show them this. They might let you live. And he throws it over across the table to you.
I will catch it and kind of play with it, see how it feels in my hand, take a good look at it.
You see that is
nod and thanks.
that is a weapon of certain death warhammer.
Whoa.
Which, if you look that up, when you damage a creature with an attack using this hammer, that target cannot regain hit points until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
It also lets you add a proficiency bonus to your attack roll.
It does allow you to add your proficiency bonus to your attack roll.
Heck yes.
Don't you already do that?
So is that double dippy? Probably not.
Anyway, to the attack roll for any attack you make with it. So yeah,
Sweet.
Oh, proficiency
Upgrade.
with no. Proficiency with Warhammer allows you to add proficiency. Yeah, that's just saying if you have proficiency with Warhammer, it allows you to add that,
Oh.
and you do.
I do.
You do. Anywho, so Brugor at this point is gonna lean further back in his chair. Take that, boy, and leave this camp. You know what? It's only fair that you have some of the fun. I'll tell you what. If you kill any goblins in this area, and you bring me the ears, I might have something for you. And when we take over the castle and kill all the goblins there, we'll go home. Just as long as that goblin filth isn't here anymore. You can tell them frightened humans down in that little pissant shit town of yours that the orcs want nothing to do with you. We just needed some supplies to shore ourselves up here so we could take care of the goblin threat. In fact, they should be thanking us.
I'll pass along the message.
But you can tell them if they come looking for trouble. Well, we're happy to give them some.
Amir's gonna roll insight on that.
Go for it.
He got a 14.
You perceive that is, from your perception, you can tell that he's telling the truth. They really do just want to eliminate the goblin threat in the area, as they truly cannot stand goblins and view them as kind of a mortal enemy.
And he's really looking to see if he'll make good on his claim that when the goblins are gone, so are they.
And he's gonna look at you. You got something to say, elf?
So you're gonna go when the goblins are gone. You're gone too.
Did you see what was around this camp? It's not a fucking thing around this camp. There's barely any game. There's no access to water. Why would I want to stay here? I'm waiting for an answer, elf.
It's not like an orc to pick up and go.
What do you know of orcs, elf?
So I've heard in stories, conquering, pillaging,
Well, some of them
rampaging
stories.
across the countryside.
Some of them stories are true. We do conquer, we do pillage, but only what we need. Listen, we worship a god that thrives on war, and so naturally, we like to fight. That said, deep down, all us orcs really want, aside from a good fight, is the ability to be left the fuck alone on our land. You heard me, our land. Goblins moved in here and have started upsetting the apple cart. So we had to restore the balance, if you will. We've already taken out 6 goblin patrols. That one was just the latest. They all seem to be coming from their fucking castle. So we figure, hey, we take out the castle, cut the head off the goblin king that supposedly lives there, and they're all bugger off. And then we can go home and not have to worry about goblins coming in and raiding our camps and trying to slay our children and our way of life. Surely you can see how that might be a priority for people that live and breathe.
Fair enough. As long as you leave, I got no beef.
Oh, we'll leave. But after you, Get the fuck out my tent before I change my mind.
I'm gonna turn around and walk out.
If you change it, I'll be ready.
You got balls, Elf. If you got the balls to challenge me in combat when you come back, I just might have some respect for you.
I'll just give him a nod of respect and look at the party and kind of like a let's go.
And he's gonna go, boy, use that hammer well. And continue fight like a bear. And if our paths cross again, I don't know. Maybe you might have a home.
Maybe our paths will cross again.
And with that, you leave the tent and leave the camp to continued earnest looks from the rest of the orcs. And Brugor exits the tent and goes, you let them leave. We've killed enough today, and those of you that didn't, well, it's your own fucking fault. Get in a battle next time. And he goes back in his tent. What would you like to do? You are currently standing outside an orc encampment.
What time? Like about what time of day is it?
It is late afternoon at this point.
Can you tell us where the castle is?
We didn't.
Was it on the map?
It may have been on the map,
May
but
have been,
nobody looked at
didn't
the
look.
map.
I didn't.
Damn it.
I was a little hurt. Sad.
You were a lot healed. You have no excuse.
A lot healed, but I was still hurt.
Oh, I love it.
I didn't want
Alright,
to interrupt the RP, but
Go to
all
Rookton.
Leif did was just look around the tent.
I guess we can make our way back to town and let them know that they're okay.
Probably a
now.
good idea.
Yeah, we can let them know that we took care of the orcs. They won't.
Can check on my armor and see if it's done.
So as you guys are currently positioned on the map, you are actually not far from Coneyberry. You are,
Okay.
Really?
if you look at the map around where you see that kind of old owl well label, you are near there.
I didn't think we'd gone that far.
Oh yeah, a few miles down the road. Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll take a look around, and from my memory of kind of the area, I'll ask the party if we want to go that way towards Coneyberry and maybe get that done out of the way.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great.
Sure.
Let's go.
If you left now, you could reach Coneyberry by nightfall.
So let's head over to Coneyberry, and then maybe just some outside we'll set up camp, and then we'll go into Coneyberry in the morning.
Well, I mean, if there's an inn in Coneyberry, we can just sleep there.
I mean,
All right,
we'll make it there by nightfall. I mean, worst case scenario,
Okay,
we just
yeah,
leave
let's-
the city and take a nap.
let's do that. Let's see what Coneyberry has to offer.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
If there's anything to offer in Coneyberry.
So
Godric's just gonna be super quiet because he's got a lot to think about. His whole life might have just been a lie.
So, as you're walking through or walking down the Tribord Trail, you see a sign for Coneyberry, and you veer off to the left into the woods. And the forest grows dark as it is also nighttime, but the forest is also growing denser, and the trail winds deeper into the trees. Heavy vines and thick layers of moss drape the branches. The air becomes colder, and you see a village emerge of Coneyberry. And it is basically a wasteland that appears to have been under siege some time ago. And it is nothing but empty buildings.
Well, so much for the inn.
So why don't we see if we can make camp in one of these buildings?
As you
I have.
As you walk down the street a little further into town, you do see a faint light coming from one cottage.
Leif looks at it. Well, either that's someone friendly or the Banshee has a home here. So either way, we have to go there.
Do we want to do that now, or do we want to do that with clear heads after rest?
I mean, y'all are fine.
I think we're
aren't you?
pretty fine.
I'm
I mean,
the only one that
Okay.
ever
Yeah.
took any damage.
All right, let's go.
I'm trying to remember what exactly our objective was here because we were supposed to give her
we're
the
supposed-
code.
a
I
comb,
was
yes.
supposed to give a comb to the Banshee and for spell materials.
Information
Oh, she
about a
was going to help
spell.
us translate the spell for the
Yes.
for my
Gorele.
sister Gorilla.
Let's do it.
Leif already starts just happily walking over to the light.
Yeah.
Since
Premier
Asteria
is
has the
will go
comb,
as well.
she's gonna walk right behind him.
I'm gonna walk next to Hysteria.
As you walk down the road, you make your way to this cottage. It's a home of sorts, sheltered within a dome of woven branches. And as you knock on the door, nothing happens.
Leif just knocks more time. Good evening. Anyone home? We're looking for someone here.
Still nothing.
Well, that's
Is-
guess Agatha might be
Can we-
somewhere else.
Can we tell if anyone's inside? Like, perceive that?
It's just there's a light.
Just the light. We can't hear anything.
There's just a light, and you could tell when you knocked on the door. The last knock let you know that the door kind of was more opening freely. It didn't open for you, but it is unlocked and can move freely.
I'm gonna like reach forward and push the door open a little bit and say hello. And kind of peer my head through the door.
There is no response, but you can see that this home is sparsely furnished with some chests, some shelves, a table, a reclined couch of sorts, all of it feeling very old and clearly very elven.
Hysteria, do you have that comb?
Yes.
I guess we'll go inside and I would probably get it out.
Should we enter someone's home when they're not here? And if this is Agatha's home, I
If
don't
this
want
is her home, I don't feel like that we should be entering. I don't know if you
Mm.
know anything about banshees, but I do.
Can we see the source of the light?
The source of the light comes from a lantern on one of the shelves, and it's a pale, kind of blue-green light.
Pamir's just gonna go out and say, Agatha, are you there? We seek an audience with you.
Still nothing happens.
Okay.
I walk in.
So Goderic just gets frustrated with the lollygagging and walks in.
Leif looks at Asteria. You got a good catch.
Asteria just sighs.
As you two walk in, you look around and you can see, again, just kind of old elven knickknacks and things that seem to be have sparsely collected. It's surprisingly clean, despite how old it is. And as you continue to look around, the air starts to grow colder. And a feeling of dread grips you. A cold, pale light starts to flicker in the air. And as the air swirls around this light, it begins to take form. You see a female elf, her hair and robes waving in the spectral wind. She appears to be beautiful, but at the same time has a hateful, twisted expression on her face that seems to move in and out of existence. And she addresses you. Foolish mortals, what do you want here? Don't you know it is death to seek me out?
Styria speaks up. Um, we came here to give you a present, hoping that you would help us. And she kind of steps forward ahead of Ashin.
Bamir
Mm.
also speaks up and says, "We've brought you a gift of great
She's going to
beauty."
stick her finger up to you as to silence you, and she's fixed on Asteria. Well, aren't you lovely? Beautiful. Not from here, are you?
Am I that obvious?
Very. To me. Where are you? What court do you hail from?
I hail from the Spring Court.
Spring. How I would long to see that again. But alas, I am here forever. You said you brought me a gift, you beautiful dear.
Well, yes, I did. And she hands her the silver comb that she was given.
And she reaches out her ghostly hand and takes the comb from you. Beautiful. Old. Refined. And she goes to start brushing her hair, almost like she forgets that you're there. And is kind of just again combing, brushing, and turns away. Very well. I can sense that you seek many things. Ask me one question, and I will give you one answer.
Asteria looks back to Leif, because I believe he has the spell that was needed to be translated. And
Yes,
holds out
and
her hand if she can have it.
I hand it to Asteria with a smile.
And she shows it to Agatha. Would you be able to translate this for us?
Agatha cranes her head back, looks over. I would, if that was real.
If it was real?
Yes, you beautiful, dreadful dear. That is a forgery. I sold the real thing to some, I don't know, necromancer 100 years ago. What was his name? Cernoth in Erebor. Oh, yes. No wonder you can't read anything in that book. It's all a bunch of gibberish. You poor dear, you came here for nothing.
Leif just whispers to Asteria, well, that was our one answer.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for at least showing us that it is not real.
Bamir sends a message and says, "Well, at least if she doesn't know what it is, does she know what it's supposed to be?"
Do you know what it's supposed to be?
I told you. One question, one answer, and you can all feel the air get even colder, almost like the air is being ripped from your lungs.
Does
Bamir
Godoruk
says,
know anything about banshees?
Bamir says, "Surely one of such beauty as yourself can give a complete answer to the question. that my also beautiful friend has asked,
Leif inhales sharply at that.
and tries to roll a persuasion.
I inhale sharply in real life.
Roll persuasion.
You got a 25.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he's a
I
bard. He
have
gets,
a +7.
he gets a
Let's
+7. Like
go!
he has to roll like a 1 to get an 8.
I literally was giving you a DC of 20 on that. So GG's.
Well, the DC of 3 should went higher than that for a bard.
Oh, come on.
It's a damn 20. What do you want from me? Anyway,
He has a +7.
she floats closer to Bamir, and as she does, you can start to feel the blood in your veins freeze. And she goes, silly little pretty half-elf boy. If you were listening, you would have heard my answer. How youth is fleeting. And she begins to lift you off the ground with her finger and then puts you back down again in a very threatening way.
We should go.
Leif,
I am suggesting we leave.
Godoruk is already
Thank you-
backing out.
thank- Thank you for your time, ma'am. We will take our leave.
Leif bows respectfully and then hesitantly asks, you mentioned that you wish to have seen spring again. Would you like to before we go?
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm going to use my inspiration for this. So I get advantage on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's use inspiration on this. First roll. Oh, thank God, I got a 2. Let's roll again. Hey, 16, so 22.
And you can see her face as she turns to you, flashes from hateful to beautiful to hateful to beautiful, as she now comes over to you. My, you boys like to press your luck. I see through you, changeling, there are no things that you can show me, but you can try.
Leif goes to the window and Cass thinks of the time when he was in his hometown that he stayed at to learn in Mirabar, and looking out the window the spring day, and casts silent image on the window to show the view that he saw that he thinks was most beautiful, and just smiles softly. It's not permanent, but it's there for 10 minutes. I hope you have a good night.
She is going to turn her head without moving her body completely to the side, almost unnaturally, and stare at the image. You can almost feel the warmth as she moves her hand in your direction, Leif. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 19, so yeah, just 19. That's just base 19.
She lifts you off the ground elegantly with her hand and throws you out of her cottage for 6 damage.
Yep, I deserve that.
We leave.
Can we leave?
I mean,
Godoruk does not like this whatsoever.
Neither does Hysteria.
Really,
Odoric
really,
is
Leaf?
way out
You
of
just-
his. I can't hit this.
You didn't have to push the issue.
Well,
I-
thank you for your time and consideration, Agatha. It was a pleasure, but we will leave you now.
And she turns her head to you and starts to float backwards. And as she starts to float back forward, she seems to be taking in a deep breath.
Go now.
No, I'm in
Run.
front of you guys. Move.
I run.
I'm gone. I'm outside. I'm not here
Jeez.
anymore.
Yeah,
Moving.
I'm gone.
Bamir
This is
closes
not
the
something
door
I can
behind
beat to
them.
death, I don't
And
think.
as you leave, she motions for the door to close, and you hear her start to sing a song of spring. And you leave Coneyberry.
Bamir will listen to the song.
Leif, we need to have some words with the lady that gave us this.
Yeah, most likely. I'm
Yeah.
picking myself off and
Anybody
brushing
wanna
off.
Tell me what the fuck that was?
Oh, that was a
Um,
banshee.
Let's just go find a safe place to camp for the night.
I point the opposite direction of cottage. How about that way?
Sure, let's.
That's
That
fine
way,
with me.
indeed.
Can I roll performance to try and
Oh, God.
remember that song?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. I got a 24.
I will get you something to be able to do that. It's a sad song that has these wonderfully sharp melodies that are almost painful to hear, but in a beautiful way. And it touches your soul, and you commit this to memory, almost as if to use for some time in the future.
That's all I want.
You are now back on the Tribor Trail.
Well, that was a haunting experience.
Are you okay, Droop?
Troop poo pants.
I was wondering what that smell
something.
was. We're gonna be camping soon, I think,
So
and then
sorry.
you can. It's okay. You can clean yourself up.
She's scary lady. Also really pretty. But scary.
Couldn't have said it better myself, little buddy.
Leif looks at Stereo. Well, we did get our answer. That honestly is all we can really give Lady Gorele.
Well,
So I'm gonna suggest. Like, I'm tired. Can we find somewhere to camp?
Yep.
Sure.
Where are we camping, Mr. Ranger?
Give me just a moment. I'm gonna scout out ahead, and somewhere along the trail, but against the forest edge, I'll find a spot for us to camp.
We'll set something nice up.
You guys
And I'll-
find a clearing outside the trail, about a good quarter mile or so away from the trail, as to not be spotted by any future orcs and or goblins, as you have already encountered them recently. You see this nice little area that is surrounded by very tall trees that has just enough moss to be able to make some soft bedding, if you would like. Tell me what your campsite looks like.
So I'm gonna peel the moss down and work to set up the beds kind of around the camp for the ones that sleep, and then I'm gonna go off into just the very edge of the forest to look for some small game to gather for dinner.
Bamir, what are you
Um,
doing?
Bamir's going to pull out. He's going to find a log next to. I'm assuming we're gonna build some kind of fire. So
A
Bamir
very small
helps-
one.
Bamir helps with that, and then sits down on the log next to the fire, and pulls out his lute, and then tries to work out the accompaniment for that song. So he quietly strums on that.
Asteria, what do you do?
Asteria probably would have went with Ashin to help him hunt for game.
Wild
Leif?
shape?
Mm-hmm.
Leif just helps set up the camp and stretches a bit because he's a little sore from being tumbling across the ground out of a door.
Goderic.
Goderic is gonna sit and try to remember as much of his childhood as possible because his life just got flipped on its head.
And turned upside down?
Yes.
Oh, Bamir is also going to cast Identify on the 2 magic items that we've acquired lately, so that we can actually know what they are in terms of.
And just so in case this is important, which I doubt it is, but the silent image does expire after 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just saying.
You're lucky
How
that she
far
was
away
still
are
singing
we?
and not wailing.
Yep.
I'll come back to the camp, I guess, with like another rabbit and some various fruit, or maybe some mushrooms, and pull out my mess kit, and I'll make like a rabbit stew on the fire.
As you cook this stew, everyone seems to huddle a little closer to the fire than normal, as the residual effect of the ice feeling in your veins is still a little bit present from that encounter with the Banshee. And it comes to a time where you need to take watch. Who is going to be taking what watch?
Again, I'll offer for the group that Goderic, Bamir, and Leaf can get a full night's rest, and Isterio and I'll take our 4-hour turns.
Leif actually suggests that he would like to take the watch at the very middle of the night.
That's gonna delay us because you need 8 hours for long rest.
So you
it's
could
early
maybe
up.
accompany Asteria if you both really are adamant about taking watch?
Mm-hmm.
At least for part of it.
Sure.
Okay. So, Faded, you're on first watch. Give me a perception check.
$17.
So you guys made camp around midnight. So around between 2:30 and 3 a.m. Faded, you hear the sound of howling. In the distance. Not close enough for you to worry about, but enough to where it gives you pause and forces you to take a little notice. The rest of your watch is uneventful. And Leif and Asteria, how goes the first part of your watch together?
Actually, while Asteria is watching, Leif actually does do some changing and actually mimics the Banshee's appearance and tries to commit that to memory for the future. But it only is basically showing Asteria mainly because she can wild shape and is comfortable that she's there.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, but that's really unnerving because those things are scary. They're in the Feywild too, just so you know.
Completely understand. I apologize. I think I've got it now. We're good for the rest of the night.
I don't think he can replicate the ethereal nature. I thought he was going for her living form.
Yes, but it's still her replication of what she looks like. It's still under. She's a banshee.
It's still creepy.
Especially with half that hated look on your face. All right.
Can you cast some kind of illusion to make that
The rest of it.
etherealness?
You gonna guess? No.
I
so,
could, but no.
So give me a perception check.
Should I just give advantage to Asteria?
It's up to you.
Sure, I'll give Asteria advantage.
So I roll
2.
Cool. What's my perception? That
Better than
is a
mine.
24.
So shortly after you started watch, you could hear in the distance what sounded like footsteps running, very similar to your own when you're in your direwolf form. You could feel that there were multiple steps and detected like it sounded like a wolf pack was running in some vicinity. They did not come close, but you did sense them. But other than that, your watch was uneventful.
Okay.
And it is now morning. It's around 8 a.m. You've all see the sun start to drip through the trees around your campsite. What does that look like?
I'm gonna come out of my trance at first light, and without saying a word, I'm just gonna walk off into the woods again and gather more food for breakfast.
I'm actually gonna wake up and follow him as well, and have a friendly hunt off. Just a
Ooh.
little competition between bros.
Are we rolling them survival checks?
Yeah, give me dueling survival checks.
22.
21.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
That's
you both-
gonna hurt.
as you both gone off into the woods to fetch breakfast, Savage, you're able to secure 2 rabbits, whereas Fated, you're able to secure 1 rabbit. And you come back to each other. And I imagine you guys coming back and you're both kind of handing your prey behind your back, and you look at each other like, all right, 1, 2, and you can see that Godorok was able to get 2 rabbits to your 1.
I'm just gonna clap him on the shoulder and make an attempt to grab his rabbits out of his hand and take off running. So can I roll for that? Like a
Give-
sleight of hand?
Yeah.
It would be sleight of hand.
Yeah. Sleight of hand against what is
Perception.
Yeah, your passive perception.
Passive perception? Do I have
Natural 20.
11? Yeah, he got it. Absolutely. He snatches it.
As Godorok puts his rabbits to show you that he wins, and he's like, you quickly snatch the rabbits from his hand, and with your elf speed, you run off into the forest.
Pretty athletic. I could try to chase him down.
I'm running back to the camp.
Okay.
I got breakfast. I'm just
Can I
gonna.
attempt to chase
I'm,
him down?
I'm just gonna set him.
Give me competing
set the-
athletics checks. I want to see it.
Let's go.
I want to see how this plays out. Let's go.
17.
See, 21 plus 5.
And as you are both, as Ashin takes off running, Godorok, you go, no, you don't. And you start running after him. And you are just able to grab the back of his leather armor and pull him back as you both make it to camp at the same time. And everyone is staring at you, wondering what the hell you're doing.
Just gonna laugh and pat him on
Can-
the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Bamir's sitting there with his lute strumming a song, and he's like, yo, okay?
Life just smiles.
I was gonna ask if I could contest his athletic grab with my acrobatics, but okay.
No,
I'll
you're
let it go.
fine.
I would totally be okay with that.
What I would like for you all to do is after you eat breakfast, you collect your thoughts about what has just happened over the past day with you being invited into an orc camp, especially being elves and a goblin, in addition to surviving an encounter with a banshee, which is something that not many people can say that they have. And as you reflect upon this, you earn 1,000 XP.
Ooh.
Ooh. I should get extra because I, did that. No.
I will give you inspiration for that.
There you
Still
go.
got his
Don't
bardic.
push it.
I still got his bardic.
Stop pushing it.
inspiration.
It's,
No,
it's-
not the
no, you don't.
bardic. No,
The
you
bardic
don't.
only lasts 10 minutes.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, I
that's
forgot
gone.
about that.
I'm going to give you actual inspiration. That was hilarious.
DM inspiration is different than bardic.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So you should have a little inspiration thing. You just check it just to show that you have it. And
Got
then
it.
any D20 roll you can add your
And I
advantage to.
already had it, so I can't get it again, correct?
Correct.
Correct. And I use mine so I didn't get murdered.
Correct. Only bludgeoned slightly.
Sweet.
You
I
boys
thought it was
pushing your
worth
luck.
it.
I'm gonna
Leif wanted to be nice.
we can assume that during my trance that I attuned to the bracers of archery.
Sure.
Well,
and then
any
I'm
rest
gonna-
you guys should be
attune
attuned
to-
to your magic
Yeah.
items.
Oh yeah, long rest.
Yes, make sure you guys mark a long rest on your sheets so that you have all of your items restored.
And spells.
Dun, dun,
And
dun, dun.
that warhammer that I got just is normal damage. Everything else just that extra.
Yes, just the extra bit
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
that they cannot
Cool.
heal. So if you
That's
hit,
valuable, by
yeah.
the way.
if you hit someone, they cannot heal until your next turn.
Which is nice,
I'm gonna
especially if
enjoy
they
that.
have things like regeneration.
If you
Yep,
keep
Or a
hitting them, they
cleric.
keep not healing.
that's right.
All right. Well, that is set up correctly and equipped.
Meaning
Damn.
potions take no effect, cure wounds takes no effect against them. That's pretty awesome.
It's a neat thing.
Yep.
All right,
Nice
so you
little
guys have
I'm using
packed up from your camp. What are you going to do now?
We'll make our way back to. Should we go back to
Phandalin.
Phandalin now?
I think
Should.
so.
Is
Okay.
that what's next? Yeah.
Yeah, we need
So-
to talk to Sister Grayley.
So I'll kind of like survey the area to get a better idea of where we're at again, and then just kind of point off in the general direction of Phandalin, and then I'll douse our fire and make it look like we're basically never there.
All right. As you guys travel down the road, you are careful not to be too conspicuous, again, given all of the events that have happened here. You look and observe the different tracks that are on the trails and see that there indeed is a lot of goblin activity in the area, much like Brugor had attested to, and you, from your own experience, have seen. You reflect on the fact that you're no closer to finding Cragmaw Castle than you were, but you've had some very interesting conversations that you can share with the town. And around midday, you arrive back in Phandalin.
Okay.
Leif doesn't
No,
really.
there were.
He just keeps walking. The sister.
When we get back into Phandalin, I'm gonna stop at the smithy since that's like right
Right
there,
on.
right in the entrance of the town, and make an attempt to collect my armor and Asteria's as well if it's ready.
Yeah, Asteria's gonna go with Leif to talk to Sister Grayley.
Oh, there were posters up for like the orc raiders, correct?
Sure.
Can I go around taking those down?
No, there's only
No.
one, and it's posted
There's only
at the
one.
town master's office.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Bamir's gonna go to Sister Grayless, who
All right. Well, we'll start with Faded or Ashin. You go over and talk to the smithy. Hi, Master Elf. You're back. Listen, I was able to get your armor fitted up. Give it a good try for me.
So I'm gonna take the leather armor that I had off, and I'm just gonna set it on the counter, or whatever, the table or whatever that's in front of me,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna put the studded leather armor on. It fits good.
So you can see as the smithy kind of helps you to kind of align the different bits and make some small adjustments around the shoulder pieces so that they fit up just right. Goes, hey, measurements seem fit. Listen here, I'll give you a couple good pieces if I can take that leather armor off you. It's good stock.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
And you can just subtract that from the rest that you owe him. Now,
Does he make armor from like scratch, or does he just fit it?
he's the smithy. He can make anything.
He does. Okay. I want to.
Well,
I
he can
need
make
armor
anything
made.
that's more or less common, right?
I need armor made.
Don't you do better without armor?
Yeah, if you wear armor,
It
a
de-
lot of your bonuses go away.
Right.
It only if you're as a barbarian, the best armor that you can hope for to get, I think, at your level is plate armor, which is quite expensive.
I think. Well, I think.
All right, scale count. Well, that's the only one.
I think you can only wear medium armor, and
Yeah.
the best medium armor is breastplate.
Which is super expensive, but they have spiked armor that was 14 that I was looking at. But
Is
you're
that worth your? Is it worth the difference in your
Probably not.
AC though? In most instances,
Uh.
your resistances are better than you wearing armor.
Well, you
it
don't
would,
need
it
resistance
would put it up
if
to
you don't get hit.
16.
True.
It would put it up to 16.
What is yours right now?
13.
You could also carry a shield, and that would give you +2 AC.
Two-handed weapons.
But that would I mean, if you wanna get some armor, like, you know,
Well, your warhammer is gonna be one-handed
Versatile,
and
actually,
versatile.
I can-
So
is it one-handed?
It's versatile.
yeah,
Okay, so it's one-handed. Yeah, I would rock a shield, man.
you can always drop it if
Yeah,
you want to go. If you want to go
Since I'm not using
two-handed
them all
on 'em.
anymore. I'm not using my maul anymore. I'll rock the shield. Just let it lay. 15 AC is enough.
The maul's probably gonna do more damage,
It
but
does, but RP reasons, I would probably be using the warhammer.
yep.
I
Actually,
mean, you
I
could
think it's
you
the
could
same-
still
I think it's the same if you use it two-handed.
It
like
is.
you're gonna
That's
want to
what-
raise up your AC anyways, because the higher your AC, the less likely you are to get hit, right? So,
Well, the other question is if he's proficient in shields, because
all right,
okay,
He is.
no worries then.
I would look.
Yeah.
What can
I'll
you
wa- I'll
can you
rock
wear
the
heavy?
I cannot.
No. Okay,
No.
so you're gonna want to get like a breastplate or yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, that's a little
Yeah,
out
eventually.
of my price range at the moment. So, all right, we'll let it lay.
Well, speaking of that, I guess we could. Well, let's collect. We can collect the bounty or the money that Halia has for us for the treasure that we've sold to her,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can split money, and everybody can figure out how much they have and what they want to do with it.
There you go.
I'm okay with this.
So as you were at the
Um,
smithy, he
Actually,
actually,
Demir,
I'm gonna-
Demir will want to stop by Barthen's provisions too,
okay.
and see if he
Okay.
can get rid of those potions.
So last thing
Potion materials.
that the smithy will tell you. Oi, master, glad this fits well. That the armor for the Miss Elf, she that'll be ready in another 2 days, and those arrow tips, just give me another 3 days or so, and I should be able to get those. There's a lot of them. He asked for a lot of arrow tips. I'm working as hard as he can.
All right. After that, can I make my way to the town masters?
You can, but we are going to switch over to Bamir then, who
Sure.
is stopping off at Barthen's.
I don't know if we have to roleplay the whole thing, but Bamir's gonna try and get rid of the 3 potion thingies. the small vials of potion from Glassstaff's lab.
Your Dragon Bile, Nightshade, and Mercury.
And you're gonna talk to Barthen, and he's going to look at you, and he's like, I'm sorry, Master Pamir, but those are not things that I can use and or sell. You would probably need to go to either a larger city such as Neverwinter or Waterdeep to be able to have that, or find some alchemical shop. They might be able to take them. I unfortunately can't do anything with them.
All right, I just wanted to check and see if you had connections you could sell them to, but I can find somewhere else if that's the case. Thank you very much.
All right, so are you all then going to go to Sister Grayla?
Yeah.
So as you make your way into the center of town, you see that Sister Grayla is at the Shrine of Luck, just spouting off her, fortune favors the bold. What do you do?
Asteria's gonna walk up to her.
And she's going to give you a big smile.
Lumir's gonna go too.
Good morning, sister. Well, we have some interesting things to talk about concerning our little trip.
Oh, did you
We were
go
able to
see
speak
Agatha?
With Agatha, yeah.
Yes, and
How did
was
it
able
go?
to speak with her.
Oh, she's
We're
quite lovely.
alive.
Well, I mean, I can see that, thank goodness.
However, she informed us that this is a forgery. This is not the real thing, so she was not able to give a translation.
Tamora, curse that.
The original was sold to a necromancer named Cernos 100 years ago
In Erebor.
in Erebor.
I appreciate that information, and that does at least help me figure out where to look next for the real book. Yeah. I am so sorry to have sent you on such a dangerous journey. For this reason, unfortunately, I myself was duped. Yeah.
We were fairly compensated, so
You did get your
I-
potion ahead of
it's
time.
it's unfortunate that the news that you were hoping for wasn't the bounty that we retrieved, but
That's how it goes sometimes. Tamora sometimes giveth and sometimes she takes away.
Leif gives a smile, and honestly, it was actually well worth it. And I give Asteria a wink.
Oh, how was Agatha? She was less than cordial the last time I went.
Oh, she's lovely.
Well, I asked my question, and then some other people asked some more questions.
You
And
asked more
we're
than one
alive.
question?
I was thrown out the door.
things
You are
mm,
lucky that's all that happened to you.
things might have gotten a little frosty.
Can I hear them as I'm walking by? Because I still haven't rejoined the group.
I would say not at this point because they were pretty hasty.
I was gonna make a snide remark.
I want to hear it anyway. What's your snide remark?
They asked free.
She's gonna say, "Oh, well, fools that you are, asking Agatha more than one question. You seem to be here. I don't know what to make of this, but I thank you for the information.
And if we can be of any more assistance to you in the matter, then you know where to find us.
And she's gonna look at you and just kind of giving you a nod and says, Master Silenstra, I have yet to hear any word from my contacts about the whereabouts of your father, but if I do hear anything, I will be sure to let you know. In the meantime, take this. And she passes you a small parcel.
Okay. He'll
Don't
take
open it here.
and Put it
Don't
on his
open
belt.
it here.
He's
Just-
not gonna.
And that's it. She goes, well, I must go back to blessing the mining masses now. Again, fortune favors the bold. Good day to
Fortune
you.
favors the bold. He winks at her.
You can hear
Walks
a
away.
praise tomorrow. Get your blessings. Where are you going now?
To the line, to the miners' exchange is where Bamir would like to go.
I'm already walking there.
So you walk back into the miners' exchange, and as you look around, you don't see Halia anywhere. But there is a vacant teller open at the window.
Leif just walks up. Good day. We had an appraisal from Halia about some materials that we were selling.
Name, please.
Leif.
How you spell that?
Leif.
Right. Give me a minute. And he pulls up kind of like a daily records. Oh, yeah. Master Leif and Company. Yes, you look like Leif and Company. Yeah. Do you have a total on all of that stuff?
Yeah, for everything except for the 3 small bottles, it's 445.
445 gold?
Yep.
And give me 1 second here.
Now I feel like I'm at a bank.
Just 1 second, Adam. 1 second.
Leif just continues to smile politely as he waits.
He goes, yeah. So, apparently you are part of our preferred program, and Nurse Halia said to give you your 445 gold with a 10% bonus of another 45 gold. So here you go, 490 gold.
Thank you very much, good sir.
You have a good day. Make sure to come back to the Miners Exchange.
Will do. I take the money and I offer it to Bamir.
Okay.
Oh, well, shall we go then? I don't think we have much other plans except for Thunder Tree.
Well, yeah, and or Castle Gagmar Castle.
Oh yeah, that's right. We still have to do that, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get together and see if we can get the back room at the Stonehill Inn, and we can split up all this stuff.
I'm knocking on the door at the townmaster's.
And you see the door open up, and Harbin is sitting at the desk as one of the guard answers the doors. He goes, oh, yeah, Master Ranger. Yes, you. What can we do for you?
I'd like to speak with the townmaster for a moment.
Right in here, right in here. And Harbin looks up at you. Yes, what can I do for you?
I wanted to propose an offer. Me
Interesting.
personally. I'd like to train your guards and whoever else in the town that is willing to learn in archery.
Well, now. You boys hear that? This man here wants to teach you how to shoot. What say you? And the guards both kind of look, and they look at each other. Well, I couldn't hit shit if it hit me in the face. Sure, I'm good to learn. And Harbin looks back at you. That's a very generous offer. I humbly accept on behalf of the town. That would certainly help us to be a bit more defensible, which is something we needed to do around here. When do you think we should do that?
So the group of us have some more things to do that are going to be keep us probably out of town, but I'd like to start every day at first light when we're here.
Alright.
Just an hour or two worth of training every day.
Well, just let me know the night before when you're here, and I will make sure that the guard is available the following morning outside the town hall. And we'll see if we can secure you a place to practice.
Well, I was thinking that the town green would be perfect.
Right you are. Yeah, that'll work. We can secure the town green. I'll just have to mark it off. Hopefully we don't have any events, but this is certainly more important than anything else at this point, making sure that we can defend ourselves. Yes, absolutely. The town green. Wonderful idea.
Sure. And if you like, let the town folk know too if they want to learn.
I will put up signs, and if anybody wants to come on by and sign up, I'll make sure that they get notified the night before.
Sounds like a good idea.
All right. Anything else I can do for you, Master Elf?
No, sir.
All right. You have a good day.
Thank you. And I'm gonna walk out and rejoin the group.
The Harbin is going to kind of just secretly be happy, as he's going to give you a big smile as you leave the door. He's kind of very pleased with how that happens, because he's still trying to figure out how to make the town defensible.
Don't you let him know about the orcs?
I did not.
Would you like to?
Sure. As a second thought, I'll like turn around in the doorway and I'll be like, "Oh, by the way, we ran into the orcs outside of town yesterday on the Tribord Trail."
Yes, the ones Jack told me about. How did
Yes,
you fare?
and-
I mean, you're back.
We actually, one of our group challenged their leader to one-on-one combat, and he prevailed. So we went back
His
to their
mouth
camp.
is literally going to just drop agape.
We went back to their camp, had a conversation with them, and they have assured us that they are not going to be bothering the town. They're just here in the area to take care of the goblin threat. Whether or not I don't really believe them, that's just me, but that's what they said.
Well, they haven't attacked us yet, I suppose. Other than the people on the road. I guess we'll be cautious, but hopeful.
At the very least, make sure the guards stay alert.
Will do.
All right.
Certainly
Thank you for your
seen less
time.
goblins around lately, though. Curious.
Oh, they've been busy.
And
And
with that, you
I'll,
can take your leave, and Harbin's now going to go scratching his head.
All right. Well,
And I'm gonna catch up to the group, and then I'll inform them of the undertaking that I've taken upon myself.
oh, that's quite a offer you made them. What do you say we see if Toblin can give us that back room so we can divvy up some of this cash?
That sounds wonderful. I'm dying for a drink.
As you make your way to the Stonehill Inn, you see Toblin as you walk in the front door. Oh, yes. Yes. What can I do for you today?
Hi, Toblin. We were hoping that we've got some business to discuss, and we were hoping that we could use your back room for a bit.
Oh, yeah. I can make that ready for you. Just give me a moment. I'll have that right away. And
I mean, if you could get us some drinks and food, that would be great too.
Oi. and he is all too happy to gather a nice spread for you and some drinks.
I'll take the stiff stuff.
You want? He gives you like the little like. Make sure to give you a couple of shots of the good stuff in when he brings you the different drinks. And as you guys see this spread before you, you guys eat your fill for your lunchtime and have your drinks. You divvy up your gold, which we will do in a different way. That said, we are going to call it there for the evening and pick it up next time and figure out what you guys are going to do and where it is you guys are going to go. Will you find the Cragmaw Castle? Will you find Rydoth up in Thunder Tree? What else might you find? Are the wolves howling for someone or something? Find out next time on Dungeon Nytes.